Good day, welcome back to First Take. We go to football now. New Patriot Stefon Diggs participated in voluntary OTAs after being absent last week and made headlines after a video of him on a boat with an unidentified pink substance. Diggs, who also went Instagram public over the weekend with his relationship with rapper Cardi B, took part in drills and caught passes from Drake May. He didn't do intense workouts as he's still recovering, of course, from tearing his ACL last season with the Texans. Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels downplayed the drama yesterday.
It's a voluntary part of the year. We know that. I don't know if we've ever had perfect attendance at these things in general. I know he's staying up on the information and the material. And there's so many things and opportunities for us to teach all our guys going forward between the rest of the practices here in the spring and then going into the summer and you know, the many days we have before we actually kick the ball off in September. So I'm not concerned about Steph in that regard.
Okay, Canty, I want to start with you on this one. How big of a distraction is this?
Well, it's not nothing, Molly, and I get where Josh McDaniels is coming from, their offensive coordinator, but that's just what coaches do when the organization has made a decision to function forward amidst something that could be perceived as a bit of a scandal. When it comes to the Stefon Diggs of it all, you have to ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? You're talking about somebody that's going into his age 32 season, and prior to last year, each of the previous 6 seasons, the guy had over 1,000 yards receiving, yet we're talking about him being on his 4th team during that span. So the question is, why is an uber productive receiver not able to stick on, not able to find a home? And it comes down to the personality, it comes down to the drama, it comes down to the attitude, it comes down to the baggage of Stefon Diggs. And for a franchise that's trying to turn the page on the Bill Belichick era and rolling into this season with a second-year quarterback, having this tension exist where you have to question whether or not your star wide receiver reflects the values of the franchise and the values of the overall program that your new head coach, Mike Vrabel, is trying to build, just doesn't make any sense.
S.A.?
Stefon, Chris Canty, respectfully, I think you and anybody who has that kind of opinion are not being completely fair to Stefon Diggs. I think this is wrong. Last week was voluntary workouts. There's plenty of people. There's never perfect attendance there, just like Josh McDaniels said. He showed up when he was supposed to show up, so he hasn't violated any professional occupational commitments. That's number one. Number two, he's coming off from Houston. When you bring up the 3 teams that he played for prior to a landing in New England, we all know it was about money. He was in Minnesota. They wanted to make Thielen the focus of the offense from the wide receiver spot. He wasn't having that. He knew he was better. He wanted out. He ended up landing in Buffalo. He was in Buffalo. The only thing that we could say about him that was a negative is his histrionics on the sideline because he wasn't getting the ball when it counted and the Buffalo Bills were losing. I understand that that's not a good look, but it ain't the end of the world, okay? He goes in Houston last year. They were rolling. He tears his ACL, so we understand that. And now he got a 3-year deal that's giving him about $69 million if he's healthy and he can play to be with the New England Patriots. This is not like this brother was some cantankerous individual off the field getting himself in trouble or anything like that. He might have had, I pointed to the sideline stuff, but that's about it, okay? The brother can play. He's an all-world receiver when he's healthy. We know this. So now let's get to the personal side. To the personal side, he's on this boat. If you got questions about some pink substance that was in his hand at that particular moment in time, you know how you resolve that? Drug testing. That's all. It's the NFL. Figure it out. Drug testing. Chances are you ain't gonna find anything. Listen what I'm saying. I'm saying it facetiously because I'm saying I don't think he would be stupid enough to do that because that would ruin his damn career, okay? Because they can cut him instantly, right? He's not gonna throw away potentially $69 million because he's hanging on a boat with his woman, Cardi B, and another bunch of women, okay? I can't believe that he would be that stupid. So now we get into, all right, this quote-unquote salacious photos and all of this stuff. Will you folks, not you guys, not you, CC, not you, Molly, anybody else, I'm talking to the public, will y'all get a damn life? This man is still off season. He's on a boat with somebody who is universally recognized for her attractiveness. That is his woman. There are other women on the boat with him, but he is with her and he is with them in his off time doing his thing. If you want to condemn him for anything, you want to get on Cardi B about anything, just say to them, yo, everything y'all do ain't everybody's business. the photos and salacious photos, or, confirming your relationships and all of this other stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody's business ain't to be told. And when you got family members, loved ones, colleagues, anybody else who have this insatiable appetite to put personal business on social media, get the hell away from them. Because no good is going to come from that in the end. Get rid of them, okay? It's just that simple. But outside of that, it's Cardi B, and we all know how potent she is in social media and stuff like that. So we get that kind of comes with it. But damn, y'all, the brother got injured. He coming back from an injury. He ain't getting into trouble or anything. He living his best life. He having a good time. What we tripping for? Leave that man alone. Leave that man alone.
Stephen A.
Yeah.
They ain't learned from OBJ when it comes to being on them boats in South Beach. They ain't learned from that yet. They ain't figured out that that's not a good idea to put it on social media that you on a boat,
that's us talking.
hanging out, partying on
I'm just saying, that's us talking. That's us talking because you don't want people in your business. It's not about. It's not. I'm saying, but it's not something. It's not something for Vrabel and Josh McDaniel and them to be concerned about. That's
Stephen
all
A,
I'm saying.
But here's the problem, though, Stephen A. They got to answer questions about it. That's the problem. They got to answer questions about it. They're being asked about it. Why should we be in a position where we got to answer questions about it? When we got enough questions
here's
that
how you
we're trying
resolve
to
that.
solve.
Here's how you resolve
forward.
that. Here's how you resolve that.
Go ahead.
Stephon Diggs, get your ass to this camp and forget football for a second. You're going to spend the next hour or two answering these questions so we don't have to. Now, you're going to do all that. We're going to have a policy in place where you're going to sit before the media because you ain't going to have us answering these questions about you and Cardi B and you being on yachts with fine-ass women. We ain't doing that. You're going to sit up, you're going to answer these questions yourself. That's all. That's all we talking about here. We ain't talking about nothing else. Leave that man alone. Let him answer the questions. Let him, for the punishment should be, if anything, you got to answer questions to the press so we don't have to, because it ain't our business. We shouldn't have to be subjected to these questions about your personal life. You're going to do that, you're going to answer these questions, but that's as far as it should go. It shouldn't act like it's a problem for the Patriots, man. Come on, y'all. Leave
All right,
the man
sorry to
alone.
cut you all off. I got to get one more commercial break. Coming up, Saquon Barkley gracing the cover of Madden, and more First Take is after the break. Huge
Chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng làm móc khóa. Chả biết cái ghim ở đây đâu hết rồi nhỉ.